Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking some truly fascinating source material on the science of aging. Or actually, scratch that. It's more like the science of reversing it. We are going to look at how to take complex science-backed research and turn it into really simple, actionable daily habits for rejuvenation. We're breaking down exactly what the data tells us about keeping your body and your brain remarkably young. Now, we've all experienced this super relatable scenario, right? You walk into a class reunion, and while some folks look exactly their age, or maybe even a bit older, there are always a few people who genuinely look 10 years younger, literally like they haven't aged a day. You kind of look at them and think, no way, how is that even possible? Well, the data points out something super surprising here. The difference between people who age rapidly and those who look exceptionally young, it isn't just lucky genetics, and it absolutely is not about expensive cosmetic treatments. The real secret actually comes down to what we do every single day, often without even realizing it. Rejuvenation is built entirely on simple, daily micro habits. For those of you looking for really focused, efficient ways to upgrade your life, this is the ultimate takeaway for you. The habits we're going to uncover today cost absolutely no money, they take almost zero time, and they will completely empower you to change your health from the inside out. There are no artificial fixes required here. So, to keep things highly structured and efficient, we'll be organizing the 9 key habits from our sources into 3 main pillars. Number 1, rejuvenating your diet. Number 2, rest and movement habits. And number 3, the mind-body connection. Let's jump right into pillar 1, rejuvenating your diet. Transform from the inside out. All right, prepare yourselves because the research reveals a pretty huge counterintuitive contrast between natural foods and artificial supplements. You know, relying on synthetic multivitamins, the sources show that can actually disrupt your body's calcium and magnesium balance, potentially causing vascular calcification and literally shortening your health span. On the flip side, the ultimate, perfectly balanced natural multivitamin is right in front of us, eating whole small fish. By eating the entire thing, bones, organs, eyes, skin, the whole shebang, you deliver what's called a golden ratio of minerals right to your body. Plus, it is absolutely packed with EPA, DHA, and CoQ10, which act directly on your cells to fight off wrinkles and cognitive decline. And speaking of wrinkles and cognitive decline, we really need to understand what we're up against. The sources highlight a biological process that creates these things called AGEs, which stands for Advanced Glycation End Products. Basically, these are harmful aging substances created when excess sugar binds to protein in your body. They rapidly, and I mean rapidly, accelerate wrinkles, make your bones fragile, and cause your brain to age. But the absolute most critical thing to remember here, once these AGEs form, they are incredibly difficult for your body to break down. So they just constantly accumulate. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. So the crucial point is how we stop feeding the production of these AGs, right? And that all comes down to carbs. We have to look at white carbohydrates. Think white bread, white rice versus colored carbohydrates. White carbs are totally stripped of their natural nutrients. They violently spike your blood sugar and directly fuel the creation of those harmful AGs we just talked about. Get this, the source actually notes that combining white bread with sugary jam is pretty much the absolute worst combination you can eat for accelerating aging. Instead, if you swap those out for colored carbs like brown rice, whole wheat, or soba noodles, it stabilizes your blood sugar and delivers a rich dose of antioxidants and fiber. But you know, it's not just about what you swap out. It is all about what you combine. Fermented foods are an absolute powerhouse for cellular youth, but the real magic happens when you use synergistic combinations, like a chemical reaction. For example, combining miso with onion uses oligosaccharides to explosively boost your good gut bacteria. Or mixing yogurt with kinako, that's roasted soybean flour, combines lactic acid and isoflavones to really boost your hormonal youth. And then pairing natto with grated radish, that uses natural enzymes to absolutely maximize your body's absorption of vital nutrients. The key takeaway here is rotation and synergy. Don't just eat the exact same thing every single day. Now, if you are sitting there wondering, well, how long is this going to take to work? The data on this is honestly so motivating. Simply swapping ultra-processed foods for natural foods can show visible rejuvenation in just 3 days. 3 days! Why does it happen so fast? It's because processed foods contain artificial additives that trigger immediate chronic cellular inflammation. Plus, they're literally engineered to hijack your brain's satiation signals, which causes addiction and overeating. The very moment you stop eating them, your body's inflammation drops, and things like your skin tone and your digestion start improving almost immediately. Okay, moving energetically right along to pillar 2, Rest and movement habits. Activate your body's sensors. So we're shifting our focus from what we put into our bodies to how we physically treat and move our bodies every day to activate our internal sensors. Let's start from the ground up, literally. The source material emphasizes some massive anti-aging benefits that come from stimulating the soles of your feet. You might be wondering, why the feet? Well, as we age, our capillary blood flow drops, but by stimulating the countless nerve endings in the bottoms of our feet, we physically activate the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which acts as a direct preventative measure against dementia. You can do this by rolling a golf ball under your foot for just 5 minutes, or maybe massaging your soles slowly while you're relaxing in the bath, or even stepping on a traditional bamboo stomper for a minute or two a day. It is such a tiny habit, but it packs some huge neurological benefits. Now let's talk about what happens when you're completely at rest. We need to introduce a really fascinating scientific concept here called the glymphatic system. Basically, this is the brain's unique waste clearance system, and the catch is it operates almost exclusively while you are sleeping. Its entire job is to flush out toxic, dementia-causing proteins, specifically one known as amyloid beta. But the efficiency of this system is actually heavily dependent on a physical variable that you completely control every single night. And this brilliantly illustrates why your physical sleeping position matters so much. The research strongly suggests that sleeping on your left side is the ultimate zero-cost anti-aging hack. Left-side sleeping maximizes the efficiency of that glymphatic brain detox we just talked about. Plus, because of the physical shape of your stomach, sleeping on your left prevents acid reflux. This lets your digestive system completely rest, which then, in turn, boosts your anti-aging melatonin production. Compare that with back sleeping. The sources note that sleeping on your back can increase the risk of sleep apnea, exacerbate lower back pain, and even cause fluids to pull in your head. So that covers sleep. But what about movement? If you're super busy and only have time for one daily movement habit, you just need to remember this number, 60. 60 seconds. That is all the time you need per day to dramatically lower your mortality risk. How? By simply doing a one-leg stand for 30 seconds on each leg. This really simple balancing act forces you to train hidden, deep inner muscles like the iliopsoas, while simultaneously firing up all your body's spatial sensors. The research highlighted in our sources actually shows that an inability to balance on one leg for even 10 seconds is a major invisible sign of aging, and it's tied to a significantly higher risk of future immobility. Which brings us to Pillar 3, the mind-body connection, your brain's anti-aging switch. It turns out our social interactions, our habit of sharing knowledge, and even our own internal thoughts literally change our cellular biology. Check this out. This simple act of teaching others can reduce your risk of developing dementia by up to 40%. And hey, teaching doesn't mean you need to go be a university professor. Teaching just means sharing knowledge. It could be telling your neighbor about how, say, putting apple cider vinegar on natto boosts calcium, or just explaining a random fun fact to a kid. The act itself forces your brain to recall, synthesize, and clearly communicate information. It fires up multiple areas of your brain simultaneously and releases dopamine. It's basically a full-body workout for your cognitive health. This final habit might sound just a tiny bit cliché, but honestly, the biological data behind it is absolutely undeniable. Practicing gratitude physically acts as a mental serum for your body. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, improves your blood flow, and literally halts cellular inflammation in its tracks. The sources outline 3 structured levels to build this habit. Level 1, just write down one small thank you right before bed. Level 2, say it out loud, even if it's just to yourself in the mirror or to your dog. Physically using your vocal cords stimulates those calming nerves. And level 3, express it directly to another person. This builds social connection and completely wipes out the health risks associated with isolation. Wow, so we have definitely covered a lot of ground today. From finding the perfect small fish to eat to discovering the optimal side of your body to sleep on, and all of it is structured directly from the research. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will you rely on expensive, artificial fixes, or will you choose these simple, natural microhabits to transform your health from the inside out? The choice and the power is entirely in your daily routines. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we will see you next time.